शर्मा जी का बेटा है ना, ही इज स्टडिंग इन अमेरिका, पर अब्रॉड जाके पढ़ना क्यों है ऐसा। आई ऑल्सो वॉन्टेड टू गो एंड स्टडी इन अमेरिका, पर चाहिए क्या होता है एप्लीकेशन में। ओके want the answers of these questions, watch the video till the end and also share it with the ones who wanted and who dreamed to get into some of the amazing universities of the world. Hey, namaste everyone, I'm Reni Jain. Welcome back to my channel. I'm welcoming some of the amazing students from universities abroad. But here to answer your questions, let's welcome them. Let's get started.
Okay, so welcome everybody. So next, I'm Reni Jain and my pronouns are she and her. I got admitted to Michigan State University and I will be undergraduating in economics, BS economics actually. Also, I applied to 6 universities and I got admitted to all of them. Right now, I choose Michigan State because of its ranking and at the same time because of its research and also because I got honors college. So definitely yes, because of that. Before we begin anything, I want you guys to introduce yourself.
Hello everybody, I'm Ananya Vrithi. I live in Gurgaon. A little about me, I'm very passionate about social causes. I'm a feminist too. I used to debate in school a lot. I applied to the top 2 universities on my list. Ashoka University, it's in Sonipat, Haryana, and Kriya University, it's in Sri Sriti, Andhra Pradesh. And
I'm Vanshika Agrawal, and I will be undergraduating from US, New Jersey Institute of Technology, majoring in computers. I applied into like 4 universities, out of which I got into 3 of them. I applied into UMCP, University of Maryland College Park, ASU, and Rutgers. Also in New Jersey Institute of Technology. So out of which I got declined from UMCP.
Hey guys, I'm Nilay. I'm from Jaipur, Rajasthan. I'm doing my bachelor's in computer science at the Arizona State University. And rest, I applied to over 10 universities, if I'm not wrong, and I got admitted from 3, that is Arizona State University, Pennsylvania State University, and Texas A&M College Station. I also was waitlisted at Purdue, of which I had gotten admission in, and Wisconsin-Madison.
Hello everyone, I'm Sai Siddharth and I'm from Chennai, and I'll be majoring in computer science at Penn State University, which is in US. I've applied for 13 universities and I got admits from 8 universities.
So hi guys, my name is Ann Buradia and I'll be joining the University of Massachusetts Amherst this fall semester. So I'm about to do my major in computer engineering.
So the next question that comes to my mind when I talk to people studying abroad is why they decided to go for undergraduation and why they decided to leave India and go to abroad.
So for me to choose studying as an undergrad in US was a lot of my interest actually. I wanted to experience a new side of learning as I've already studied in India, 14 years in India. So I wanted to experience a college life that actually comes with studying in US is like choosing your own major and interacting with diversity and whatnot actually.
Before my 11th and 12th grade, I used to live in Malaysia. So that motivated me to go further because I have already lived outside for a while. And that pushed me ahead for undergraduation. Plus, a few of my cousins also have been for undergraduation in the US. So that's what pushed me forward for that.
Go for undergraduation to US because I really wanted to explore the world and meet new people from different countries. And I wanted my undergraduation to be a great experience. And I want to live my undergraduation. And they offer top ranked programs and majors.
I wanted to join US actually instead of continuing my education in India because I have seen that US focuses more on the overall development of a student rather than focusing just on the academics. So I've seen students who are actually good at academics in the US. They are actually very good at sports or any extracurricular activities also. So that boosts your overall development, and I think that is what I'm looking for.
Okay, exactly. There comes a good point. Like US has some practicality and more of research opportunities than Indian universities offer. Right, all right. Is at 18 years, we are like a pot which has not yet given a shape. When you go for masters, you are already given a shape. At this age, we can actually explore, knowing more communities and people around the world. We can be, get more knowledgeable and a better human. So, as that your parents asked that why you wanted to go to another country and why you wanted to give this exam, did you face any such opposition sort of from your parents, or what reasons you gave them?
For me, going away from home was like, if you have to go to college, you need to go out somewhere. My mentality of my parents was like, you don't need to stuck at home.
Parents have been supportive from the start, and I think it is because of them that I have had that ambition of going to US. So, but there has been one thing, coming from a Gujarati moderate and conservative family. So there's always that mom, who's very conservative, and she won't allow you to go away from her. So going almost opposite side of the world away from her, it's going to be very difficult for me as well as for her. I think that's one obstruction. But in that case, I don't think any obstruction has been from my parents at all in the terms of education.
Outside before, but then it is moving to another country on your own. So over here, it wasn't really, they were supportive because US, they know that US has the opportunities which India might not have.
Parents gave me full support to go to US, and I became more ambitious about this in 11th grade. So
I just thought of going to United States when I was in 12th, in early 12th actually, and nobody in my school and neither in my family ever went to study abroad sort of something. So it was very much like a shock and something very new for my parents to accept, but always they were very supportive. I just decided that I wanted to go, and today I'm going, and different the experience actually. So Ananya, I have a question, that you gave SAT, and that means that you decided that you wanted to go somewhere, you applied to other universities, and what made you actually think of studying in India?
Okay, so I actually gave the SAT with the set intention to apply to Ashoka and Kriya only. I knew that they take the best in terms of academics. They take the best of your SAT or ACT score, or their own entrance test, or your 12th board exams. So I just wanted this sort of safety thing with my SAT. I didn't know how well I would do in my board exams and when that result would come, because of COVID and everything, whether they'd happen, when they'd happen. So I just wanted to give the SAT for the sake of it, and that's why I did it. And I knew that both of these places that I want to apply to take the SAT, so that's why I gave it, and that's after that I sent it.
What were common for all of us? So which all exam you guys gave? Did you take any coaching, or would you recommend others taking one? And what were your scores in those exams?
Okay, so as I applied in the US, so the standardized exam was required. So I gave SAT, in which I scored a 1300. Also, the English proficiency score was also required. So I gave a IELTS exam, in which I scored a band of 7.5. I did a coaching for IELTS exam. I studied on my own for SAT.
Okay, so for my admission process, the exams I gave are SAT and TOEFL, and I attended classes for preparation of them. And in my process, they also asked for my 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th marks. Yeah, I took coaching.
For both TOEFL and
SAT.
SAT.
Yeah, I took coaching from Jambu.
Yeah, even actually I did take up some coaching for SAT to help me out, but ultimately I also could not give SAT. But I did give for English proficiency, I gave a Duolingo English test. I got 135 out of 160.
Okay, so you gave a different English proficiency.
If you want to save time, coaching is definitely recommended, because if you start on your own, otherwise, it happens many of the times that you start, but you don't really know how to proceed with the flow, and coaching will actually save time for you. It will save time and you can go with the flow.
Yeah, so I took classes for SAT and not for my IELTS. So I got 1380 in my SATs, and IELTS I got a band number of 7.5. actually I wouldn't recommend going for an SAT class, because I think even the tutor who was teaching us, he also got the materials from online. So I think I would recommend you. I think you get many study materials online for SAT, so I think you can refer that. But then if you actually don't have time, and then actually if you want to invest money, so you can actually go for coaching, it may be good for people. But I don't think I should recommend going for coaching actually.
So basically, when I say about coaching, I don't prefer coaching for IELTS at all, because when you give SAT, IELTS is like very fudu for you somewhere. So I just prepared for IELTS, I think a week, and I gave IELTS and I got a 7.5. Definitely you can get better if you practice more. And secondly, when I'm talking about SAT, SAT is an exam which needs a lot of practice, and for some students it's not like you don't get a lot sincerity when you are practicing for an exam at home, so maybe you need a coaching for that, because the coaching is like every day and you have to sit with your books and study, so maybe that is needed to have that continuity and flow in study. So that helped me a lot, and for the practice, yes, it did. So that's my case. Well, now one of the most important things that I have experienced when I was submitting my college application is the value of extracurriculars, and they have helped me a lot in all my applications. So which are actually equally needed with a good academic profile.
Not a very much of a sports person, so I did not have many extracurriculars in sports. Although I had in dance, I practiced dance since starting. So be it any fests in school or competitions outside, include singing. So I just had some singing, I did not had many. So these were the two that added major in my application.
Okay, so even I mentioned many activities in my college application, and I mentioned karate, and I'm a black belt in karate, so that's one of my major activities. And I also mentioned yoga, and I participated in some competitions in my school, and I also played basketball in my school, so I mentioned basketball also. And I took some courses in coding related to Python and C++. I also mentioned that. And many
I have played football as well as badminton for my school on the inter-school level, as well as I have been in the Bollywood film fraternity for in my past. So actually I have put that also. I put sports as well as drama as my strength.
So for my extracurriculars, I think my main one was I had made an app through MIT App Inventor, and I had started a club in my school that was one of a kind actually. It was a US subsidiary, Indian subsidiary of a US club actually, that I got in my school. So I think those two were my main extracurriculars. But yes, extracurriculars do not matter a lot in your application process. Yes, they play a role in it, but they are not the whole thing actually.
Definitely. Leadership is my forte, so that's what my extracurriculars basically revolved around. I've been a part of the student council about thrice. I was also Interact president, a part of the Eco Club of our school. I've also done debating at the international level. Then I was also affiliated with this organization called the Lung Care Foundation, and they had a program called SHAN. It was affiliated with the US Embassy. It was a state, sort of a district level thing. And art, music, a little bit of that here and there. So that was basically my extracurriculars. And I'd say for me, so my academics, I'd say they're pretty good, they're decent. But what sets me apart from the crowd, at least in my school as well, what I've noticed is the fact that I'm into a lot of extracurriculars. So while I agree with Neela, it's not that relevant, but it was a game changer, I'd say, for me, because that's what sets me apart from the crowd. So for my application, even though everything else was good, this is one thing I'd say that sets me apart from everyone else. So it was pretty important for me, and I'd say that was the highlight.
That extracurriculars are not everything, definitely, but they're not the end, but they're of course needed a lot, and they help a lot because, as Ananya said, they make you different. They make you look different from others. Question, like many people think that the application process is going to be very tough and tiring and frustrating, definitely, and they are not actually knowledgeable a lot about how to apply, from where to apply, to which universities we should apply. and how the visa process will go on and everything. So people definitely somewhere or the other where recommend that you should go to an application counselor. So would you guys recommend an application consultant somewhere?
Okay, so the application process was at some point tiring. The peak point where there's a lot of many applications going on. That at that point I was a little frustrated that okay, now I'm done. I don't want to do more. But on a whole process, it was amazing. It was fun. Also, I had a counselor whom I went, and he helped me with some ideas and some prompts for my essays. So my recommendation would be to just have a thorough background check, good enough, and the reviews, and have a perfect background check so as to not regret afterwards if you're done going for that particular country.
So I joined a counseling servicing company called Siksha. They actually are a great counseling service company because they help me from getting finalizing my college decisions. That means applying to colleges till getting my visa. So actually, I think, and they didn't even take a penny from me. So actually, I think they were really great help. Secondly, I would recommend everyone who's about to go to US or who's planning to go to US that they should start planning it while they're at 9th or 10th standard, so that
needed that we start from 9th and 10th, so we have a lot of time to actually prepare for SATs and select our universities and see our extracurriculars and profiles. Definitely.
So first of all, application process can be really tiring. I mean, for me especially, I applied to a lot of universities, so juggling through all the essays is really hard.
Definitely.
I mean, Common App does set you straight with one personal statement and all the other things, but then still a lot of, I mean, it's overall fun. It's a whole new experience, but then it can be really tiring. And so far, as far as the counselor is concerned, I did get a help from my family friend actually. He was of great help to me, so he did help me a lot in editing all my essays actually. So that is why I would totally recommend getting a counselor or a mentor.
Early application is one thing which helps a lot. So if you apply early, you get the scholarship, the best scholarships available in the university. And at the same time, the deadlines are very important, because when you are applying like wheel to 10 universities, you have to check like what is the university deadline and everything. So this is 2 points we have to remember on. Also, like she applied to 2 universities. I do plan not to apply to many universities, because it's a headache at the same time. I think we can make a very good Excel sheet like Siddharth said, and with a proper shortlisting of our universities, we can have the best one selected where we know that, okay, there is a 100% chance that I will get into this university. Okay, there is a 50-50 and I have some safe universities with me. So 6 was a number I think was very okay to me, and it was really good because I applied to those universities where I was knowing I will get into them, and where I knew that, okay, these are government universities, and scholarship was something which was a very important point in my application, and I wanted that. I was in need of it. So definitely I applied to state universities, and they provide a good scholarships. So when we are talking about scholarship and fees, let's proceed. Guys, what you did for the scholarship and fees, as people are not taking step because they think that the fees are too huge and it's not affordable to them. So what do you think, how can we decrease the fees, and how you're affording to go to these universities, and what were your scholars?
Yeah, so applying and going to US colleges is definitely a costly procedure. It is different for different universities, looking for how to reduce your costs and how to manage scholarship. That is for you to research on based on the universities you pick actually. So in my case, I did get a fair bit of scholarship from my university, so that was my point of view for selecting this university particularly. The main part was scholarship. But from the start, we all knew that, okay, it is going to be a costly procedure.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I mean, I got a scholarship of $15,500 per academic year. And it's still, the cost is still, it depends now if you want to cut down your cost, you can be living off campus. That would cut down your cost further and stuff like this. And about external scholarships, you have to research for them very
Also, there are two things which can cut your cost, is that living off campus and doing part-times. One thing that is good in the US universities is doing part-times. So somewhere or the other way you can cut your cost, definitely.
Yeah, I think everyone should agree on this, that when during the first thought of going to study in US, you think it's going to be a hard journey, and it's going to be costly. So during the start, you have to be prepared to finance yourself, to be financially stable when you planning to go to US. So scholarship actually make a difference, but I don't think US universities give a lot of scholarships. Especially, I think private universities do not actually give scholarships. Public university give it to each and every person.
University also, I got into Purdue University, but I did not get a lot of scholarship, being it a private university. So I knew that it's gonna happen like that. So, but Arizona State, a government university, Michigan State, a government university, these universities provide a lot of scholarship.
Like you guys said, that the option to pick your own major and a different curriculum that's more liberating, essentially is very uncommon in India. I agree, it's very, very uncommon, and it's sad that only a very small chunk, privileged people, get to avail that. But there are I'd say about 5 to 10 universities that do give you that option. So for everyone who's watching the video, if you want a more liberal, a better setting, a better environment to study in, and if you can't afford to go abroad, there are a lot of options in India as well. You just need to just look for them a little bit.
It's got the visas. How are you handling these mixed emotions? Like, it's not very much time is left for you to leave your homes and go to US for your studies. So how you're handling with these mixed emotions?
and the nervous feeling. I mean, both at the same time. I mean, it is for the first time that we would be traveling, without our parents, and that was, as you said, other side of the world. But one more thing. Right now, because of the COVID scenario, only to the US and the NIE, only students are allowed to travel. And one thing I see is that we all are in the same boat. So, even if you can't, if you get all these feelings, obviously, even after reaching to the US, the first few months are going to be a bit brutal, and it will be a total culture and it will be a total shift. But then it's for us to find out what really is ahead. We can't. Right now it's just emotions. We don't know. The experiences. That's what we are in for, right?
Yeah, right.
1 month left, 15 days left. It's gonna be a whole lot harder, and adjusting there for like a month without my parents beside me.
So yeah, to be fair, mixture of emotions, man. Mixture of emotions. I'm technically an emotional person, so you would find me crying in the last 15 days. Okay, you would find me crying. Okay, so I would be, but I still am emotional about leaving my parents. Actually, first few months is gonna be very hard for me, and I think each and every Indian students would have that, because you have that attachment to your parents when you live in India, because every Indian parent is actually conservative. So I think it's gonna be tough for each and every.
For me, like, I don't know where this last year went. It was like starting to prepare, and now I am booking my flight yesterday. So it's definitely, everybody was crying. Right now, I don't know what they will do when I will be leaving. So, but it's like always giving myself confidence and faith that it's gonna be worth. I'm going to do something better, something I can make them proud of. Definitely, it's like excitement with nervousness, with so many emotions I'm filled with. Definitely, it's gonna be a definitely amazing journey. Like beginning of our beautiful careers, the journey will have hurdles and will be filled with cultural shocks, anxieties, and I don't know what, a lot more. But with the smile and confidence on our faces, we can achieve everything. Thank you guys for investing your time for this video. I wish you all the best and wonderful for your college journey ahead. It's not tough when you decide what you want to do, and definitely we have taken our decisions ourselves, so we will give our best and do our best.